Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to Interview with the Vampire Season 1 Episode 3. I'm very excited to get into this episode because I think this episode is the episode that we finally get to meet Claudia, and I've been anticipating this so much. Last episode was intense. Wasn't a lot of action, but it still had a lot going on. When I was editing, I was kind of like rewatching that scene with the opera singer, the male opera singer. And that scene was actually very sad and very intense. The way Louis described how Lestat stripped all the confidence and everything away from the opera singer. Like he was kind of like toying with him and manipulating him, tearing him down to nothing, and playing with him before they fed on him. Yeah, that scene was very dark. Yeah, Louis ended up drinking with Lestat because he said, you know, in a way, he still looked up to Lestat and kind of, you know, didn't want to disappoint him. So he did it and pretended he enjoyed it for Lestat. Like I said, I'm very excited to get into this episode. I'm not going to talk too much in the beginning. But yeah, before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. I'm not kidding. It took like everything in me to not just watch this on my own. Is my very nature that of the devil? Yes. Oh, yes.
We can eat animals and be okay. Rats, cats, cattle.
Is okay what you desire, Louis? Shall we walk the night?
He does not want to eat people.
Should we be more selective?
What? Only eat redheads? The humorous? Define your terms.
The worst of them.
And how would we go about determining?
I was thinking about that. Like, oh, what if you just, you know, hunt serial killers, things like that.
Say we come upon a murderer planting a flower bed thinking only of flowers. How long do we wait before his bloody deeds reveal themselves?
You said you would try. Just gotta hold it in.
Yeah, I think killing a murderer or like someone who assaults people is better than someone who's super innocent and...
What's that I hear? Oh, yes,
but I get what he's saying, like, who's to say what's bad and who's good? But there's a general census of what's worse.
Well, go on. Here's your criminal biscuit. See how it tastes.
I don't even see what they said he did. Is it bad that I'd rather him eat the man than a cat? That's probably bad, but I'd rather him eat the man than the cat.
I'm pondering.
Pondering what?
Your night had nothing to do with ridding the world of criminals.
Maybe I'm just pondering what I am.
You're a vampire.
Could you not use the word in my place of business?
He's acting like it's like a swear word or something.
I don't want to kill people anymore.
At least he told him. I mean, he already knows it. He knows that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
A bird refusing flight.
And this is the thing that draws the line for them, that destroys the relationship. He enjoys it. Lestat loves the thrill.
Your talent is immense, but your mind is elsewhere.
Think you could do better, Jack?
Well, I'm not being paid a small fortune on top of that tip jar to perform. My skills are irrelevant.
He ate him up.
This ain't
Sorry,
your kind of
but
music.
You can pretend you're a vegetarian. I can pretend the fool.
why you say this ain't your kind of music?
For our boys being shipped off to Europe.
Or like, you know, because it's mostly like a black people thing. Jazz.
It's like your left hand on the piano. Little walking patterns, isn't it?
Ooh. Okay. He's probably gonna kill him later.
He admitted later there was nothing wrong with Jelly Roll's playing. Jelly was gonna leave me high and dry in a few days and to start to umbrage. If I'm not mistaken, he improv'd the melody.
I don't know what that is. That must be like a super famous piece or something.
This.
Like, yeah.
It's not so much the minute details, Louis, rather the total rewrite that's giving me pause. San Francisco.
Isn't it frail and stupid to me? A man made of dried twigs.
That's how I talked about Lestat.
Never allowed myself to feel emotionally close to anyone, much less a man.
He changed.
Now is the more nuanced portrait.
Or the more rehearsed. Ken Burns can choke in the
probably was
footnotes. It's the
super pissed.
abused-abuser psychological relationship I'm talking about.
I do not consider myself abused. I'm not a victim.
50 years later, you talk like he was your soulmate. Like you were locked in some fucked up gothic.
That's so weird, because I was saying, I mean, I think Daniel...
A guy I don't know the last $30 I had. My editor reminds me it's 7 years before car seats are mandatory. This is the Odyssey of recollection.
He had that note ready for him.
This is the premise of our interview. Half a century later. Allow me my Odyssey.
Okay. So it's more, less raw and more performance. Interesting. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, about the whole relationship and it being an abusive relationship. I think Daniel's pushing it a little bit, but in a sense, I was saying the way I think Lestat went about
You were the prince of
pursuing
your district. Lestat chased an American
Louis.
icon out of town because he loved you.
Lestat, he hunted Louis and pursued him. He killed Miss Lily. People are saying that he didn't do anything to his brother, but I think he was in Louis' head and was manipulative, and that is signs of an abusive relationship. Also being isolated and not having family doesn't mean that it is an abusive relationship, but it's another sign of an abusive relationship.
I tried to adapt to my new diet.
We had a good run, but I did it for Louis. I do everything for Louis.
Yeah, I heard that about you too.
Oh? What have you heard?
I'm not a gossip.
Also, even when they were in the theater, and he was like, oh, we have to stay together forever because, like, without him, like, it could be super lonely. I think that's another, that, I mean,
What do
like
the
I said,
employees of the Azalea say about Louis?
it depends on
and
the
stuff?
context.
I'll answer
that
the
could be
question.
signs of an abusive relationship.
Oh, there are 2 beds
but at the same
upstairs
time,
for one.
that couldn't.
Your blouse is soaked in champagne. Bad, Daddy.
Oh.
Yes, Daddy.
Also, what's like the fine line in their relationship? I mean, they probably didn't really define it, but like, what counts as cheating? As long as you're using the person for a meal, I guess that doesn't count as cheating.
Are not enough?
Is this a relationship? I can't believe he just laughed in his face.
We'll be together 10,000 nights. 100,000. What we're doing is hard. The pleasures of the flesh. The pleasures of the kill. For me.
I can smell her on you.
Okay, so he
From time
does
to
not
time.
like it.
I like a little variety.
So I can fuck whoever I want.
So when I was just talking about that.
Of course.
So they're in an open relationship, I guess. Interesting. I don't know if Louis likes that, but whatever.
New Orleans was the last stop before France for many young men.
Imagine fighting for your country and you can't even go into certain bars and stuff.
4118. I could Google it, or you could.
A hastily composed attempt by the city to segregate Storyville. Who signed the ordinance into law was some of my best clients.
They're literally segregating the houses.
How'd he put it, Briggs?
Deprived us the use of our property without due process of law, denying us equal protection under the Constitution of these United States.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We're writing another ordinance. You know that, don't you?
Council's not your problem, Louis. It's Woodrow Wilson. This war he's backed us all into.
Washington's making us choose, Louis. It's either win the war or fuck the whore. This council's just stalling for time, chasing race.
Maybe he's still sideways because I turned down his 15%.
My brain is low-key fried. I'm assuming that these men on the council, at first they were trying to segregate his business, but then he found a way around it by giving a percentage to the girls in his club. And then now they're saying it's something else, some other law in effect by the president, and that could like screw him over. And he's basically saying, well, they don't have to do it, but they're gonna do it. Because obviously they would choose themselves over him, someone they think is like they're inferior.
So you a big shot.
Okay, also who's this? I wasn't really paying attention. This was like an old friend.
Yeah.
Jonah, I heard that was his name. I know he's gonna be a problem to Lestat. Lestat said he could be with anyone he wants, but I don't know. Saying things and doing things is two different stories.
About fair amount.
Done all right.
Done all right. You want all this? Sign me up for done all right.
Yeah, he just eavesdropping. Okay, so they were friends when they were younger.
You think this is nice? Wait till you see my pretty automobile.
I wonder if like Louis is trying to make Lestat jealous. Like he knows he's listening, and he knows now he's bringing him somewhere else. I wonder if they had a thing when they were
sharp
younger.
shoes in this mud.
These two.
I got another pair back at home.
I bet you do. And you've been blessed. Ain't aged a day since I seen you last.
That's the moonlight line, that's all.
Me and my squad's all colored, so we mostly gonna be in the rear. Supply lines and shit.
Better than getting shot
Is
at
that
for a
true?
country
I
makes
don't
you
think
use the
that's
side
true.
of the trench.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, I
They
got
both had a
someone.
thing when they were younger.
I figured as much. No ring on your finger?
Not a woman.
Okay, so they know. Love that.
It's not perfect, but we kind of have this agreement.
At least he's open and he's telling him. I thought he wouldn't tell Jonah about Lestat. I hope he doesn't kill Jonah.
Uniform.
But I do think
it's the
Lestat is gonna
moonlight.
kill Jonah. Oh boy. I hear the heartbeat. I hear your heart beat to the beat of the drum. Oh snap. Oh snap. Chill out. Chill out. Oh, he's gonna... What is he doing? Oh, he's biting himself. I guess to restrain. Oh, that hurt. Hey.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
How was your night?
Fine.
Louis probably feels guilty.
Grace told him where to find me.
An old love.
Yeah.
He was 16. I was older.
What do you mean by that?
How much older?
I was Antoinette.
Tedious. No, I don't see that happening again.
I was gonna go see Grace and the kids. Keep up appearances. How about after?
Fine.
This is a little intense right now.
Many streets in New Orleans weren't paved.
Whose shoes are those? Oh, those are his. He was in the woods watching them.
I got someone.
I figured as much.
He's a watcher.
Did it rain?
I got someone.
So his stories are like a little sketchy, is what they were kind of saying in the beginning. Like his recollection.
Dry in the bayou and wet in the quarter. It's Louisiana.
The
It's
Odyssey
a little
of
bit off,
Recollection.
which makes sense. It's most stories. You could be fabricating a little bit, jazzing it up.
Here comes the girls!
Not the ghost.
You want to come around, you come around when people are awake.
It's barely dinner time.
She looks a little older.
You're
6
not welcome in
months?
this home.
I own this home.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. He owns this home. You don't like it, go somewhere else.
P.S. I'm gonna smack the shit out you, bitch.
Go back inside, son.
Son, I'm your son.
Son.
Let me handle this, Mama Abdullah.
Came here to
They're
see
afraid of
Grace.
you.
Get
That's
the girls.
why you didn't get
Some
an
paper
invite.
dolls.
Oh my God.
What did I tell y'all?
Oh.
There he is.
I cannot stand that.
There.
His mother. Please, I know those girls were shook. Assuming this is the last time he's gonna see his family. Oh my God. He done kicked the door down. Honestly, if I was his family members, I'd be scared too. We knew it was inevitable. His family wasn't very nice or gracious, especially his mother. They were tolerating him. One little thing he does wrong and they shun him or belittle him, so. Is this their house? He's already in a bad mood too.
What do you think? Oh, I thought we could have an orgy. You can fuck them and I can eat them.
What about the coffin room?
I knew he was mad. He was mad.
The Hans! I brought them back after the...
I'm assuming Lestat is like, oh, well, yours was an old love versus mine was just, oh no.
Get him out of here.
Their place is
Well,
getting
now
shut
that I know
down.
you have a type, I thought you'd be pleased.
Let's start.
Lestat's a hypocrite though. That's crazy. He has mad power. But yeah, I knew Lestat was mad. To him, it's probably like, oh, it's an old love. It was more of an emotional thing for Louis. Versus for Lestat, it's a hunting thing. But neither of them like what either of them do, so.
I'm not perfect.
I knew it. I knew you were there.
Yes.
You jealous?
Yes. I don't like sharing.
Hypocrite! See? I knew it was that.
I heard your heart stamping! You watched the whole thing like some creeper. And then I watched
He
you
is a
pull over and
creep.
train a dog because you took my life. I got nothing. I lost everything. I lost my brother. I lost my family.
You were given a courtesy and you ignored it.
Finn O'Shea.
They're like conspiring against him to shut him down. I know it. They hate how good he's doing as a black man and they just don't want that.
Oh, so you just starting with the color businesses then?
It does appear businesses run by white gentlemen are thriving.
Still clinging to his Creole heritage like a life raft.
Disgusting.
Well, maybe old Tom here had it right. Maybe in the end, Louis, a dumb pimp who got robbed blind years ago. It's been the break, I'm afraid.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Disgusting!
You put a sir on the end of that. And he sold you the fair play for a price.
Shut up! What's happening with it? What are they saying about the property? No. I'll watch it back, but
It's a
it's
hard
like this close
assessment
to a break.
Am I from the devil?
I honestly think his mother
Is my
looked at
very
him like him that
nature
before.
That of the devil. This state I was in, I was manic.
For sure. Let's see how this plays out. He's gonna crash out.
Thirst
He's gonna
caught, temples throbbed, and finally
gonna go
I could not stand it any longer.
What broken windows?
And I was
Wow. Wow. They're really trying to get him out. At this point, how do you not murder?
Black man in America. Make him a vampire. Fuck with that vampire and see what comes of it.
Here comes the Dark Prince. But I can't, it was like, in America, in this time, he'd have to murder all these men. All these white men.
You're here to threaten me, I suppose. You think I have a vendetta against you, against your race?
Oh, you do. He didn't even say anything. He just spilled it out.
You're arrogant. You haven't accepted your place in this world.
But it's not about color,
And
right?
your pale lover, but you're a tiny man, flying too close to the sun. And that's what I am, Louis. The sun.
No, you're not. You're trash. Look at
Why's your
that
heart
guy's
beating so
heart.
fast?
He's beating. He shook. He shook. He's scared.
I'll let you reload.
His heart. His heart. Oh, snap. Oh, he just slices. Let. He slaps. Slap. Oh. Ah.
Maybe I am arrogant.
What are you?
Oh, snap.
I'm a vampire.
Oh, that's the first time he said it. I think that's the first time he said it. Oh, snap. They're burning his place. Oh, snap. I knew it was gonna come to that.
I didn't do it for me. I did it for my city, my people.
So that torturous death was for your people? That garish display of his body?
In a sense, I don't think like Lestat understands. Like seriously, coming from like a white man, he doesn't know how that feels.
You did what you did because it gave you pleasure.
It wasn't just pleasure.
Companion
like-
of the dark gift.
Like in his own head. Like it's way more than that. Not just because it gives him pleasure.
The throat.
And that's why you and me ain't ever gonna work.
Oh.
That's why you're always gonna be alone.
Oh, snap. Oh. Did they just break up?
I
Wow.
stumbled through the streets like an irrational
Wow.
child who had tested his strength.
Are they coming only after black people? Or is it...
Unaware that it was I who had brought this retribution. It was I who should.
I'm telling you, my video's like in 40 frames per second right now. Or is it the whole quarter?
One of those inconceivable
Claudia!
who you were before, now a fire trap.
I can't tell if they were
Could
burning
not save the azalea.
like places where predominantly black people lived, or it's the whole quarter.
My light, my Claudia,
My Claudia.
my redemption.
Don't. No! Okay, that was season 1, episode 3 of Interview with the Vampire. I'm pretty sure when I started I said with a vampire. That's gonna take a lot for me to stop saying. I can't believe they cut it off right before we got to meet Claudia. And they're dragging it. They're dragging it. But yeah, this was another very good episode. It wasn't too action-packed, but it was very impactful. So I had mentioned about Louis and Lestat's relationship and like what are the fine lines in their relationship, because in the episode Lestat was with the woman and you can see it was making Louis upset, and Louis had asked Lestat if he was enough, and Lestat was like, oh, of course you're enough. He was like, they're gonna be together forever. And then Louis said, okay, well then I can sleep with anyone. And Lestat said, sure. Lo and behold, an old lover of Louis had came into town, and they ended up, you know, going into woods together. And Lestat followed them to the woods, and Lestat was super jealous of it. And I knew he was going to be jealous of it because he said that, you know, that was more an emotional thing than just a thing to get pleasure from. He said, he actually used the words, I heard your heart's dancing. So yeah, Lestat was very upset by that. Another issue that arose in this episode was Lestat's business. Basically, the white man in his town who also own, I'm gonna just use the term brothel, I don't know if that's correct, but the other men, the white men who own the brothel, are basically trying to run Louis out. They first started by putting into place a law that said colored people have to go on the other side of the quarter, or the other side of town. And then when that didn't work, they did something, which I'm gonna have to double check. And then Louis ended up killing one of the guys because he read his mind. And although the guy said that it was not a race thing, it was completely a race thing. He did not like the fact that a black man, a gay black man, was super successful and probably making more money than them. Like, they felt that he was their inferior, and they didn't like that he was quote unquote arrogant or was basically at a seat at the table with him. The only reason they let him sit at the table with him before was because he was doing less than them, and they were able to berate him and still felt superior even though he was sitting at the table. But now that he's kind of became their equal, or maybe even more, that upset them, and that's why they ended up doing what they ended up doing. So yeah, he ended up killing one of the guys and putting his body on one of the buildings that said whites only, and then they ended up, the other white man ended up burning his business down along with, I'm pretty sure, like other black businesses or other homes where black people lived. We've realized the damage he had done, and that he ended up hearing Claudia's voice, and he goes to save her, and he calls her his redemption, and that's how we end the episode, with no glimpse of Claudia whatsoever. I hope you enjoy this episode, because I enjoyed this episode, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop yapping. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
I see your comments, ladies, and they make me smile. I'm lurking and I'm stalking when you least expect.